as Vice President Mike Pence arrives in Colombia. He is set to meet with the man the U.S. recognizes as the president of Venezuela, Juan Guaido, following a weekend of violent clashes over humanitarian aid shipments. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo keeping his options open when it comes to Venezuela.
We've said every option's on the table. We're going to do the things that need to be done to make sure that the Venezuelan people's voice, that democracy reigns, and that there's a brighter future for the people of Venezuela.
All right.
Former senior Venezuela envoy to the U.S., Isaias Medina, joins us now. Isaias, welcome, and thank you for coming on America's Newsroom this morning. Important to hear your voice as we saw that weekend of unrest over the weekend. First, your thoughts this morning, sir.
Thank you so much, and good morning, Sandra. Thank you for having me, and thanks to President Trump, Vice President Pence, to Secretary Bolton, to all the U.S. team that has been working to try to bring, the help that Venezuelan people need from the U.S. and from our allies around the world. I have to tell you, the world has witnessed the atrocity crimes of not only Maduro's proxy armed militias, but also by Cuban-led military that have been committing these ongoing violations of human rights and crimes against humanity. And it is time that right now in Colombia, with the special presence of Vice President Pence, with the presence of our interim constitutional president, Juan Guaido, and with President Duque and all the rest of the Lima Group representatives, that there comes out a decisive, uncompromising ultimatum with a very short deadline. This is very important.
We know that the vice president, as you saw there, he arrived just a short time ago. We expect that he's participating in this bilateral meeting with the president of the Republic of Colombia a short time from now. He will then meet with Juan Guaido. You speak from a very unique perspective, Isaias. If you could just explain from where you come, having quit Maduro's government, witnessing what is happening there and what needs to come next.
Yes, what I can tell you, I have always worked for my country, for Venezuela. I was at the United Nations, contributing with the rest of the international community. And then, of course, in 2017, in the protest, there were shooting students, shooting civilians, and also violating the Constitution, usurping the rights of the National Assembly. And, of course, I had to draw the red line, and I had to stand out and speak out. And that's why I denounced 20 officials, including Maduro, the UN representative then, the UN representative now, today's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Delcy Rodriguez, and 20 other officials to the International Criminal Court for crimes against humanity by inducing a humanitarian crisis to remain in power. They have weaponized medicine scarcity and starvation to control the civilian population. And today we see the blockade, which is evidence of a continued crime against humanity. And this is why, yes, I'm sorry, please go ahead.
No, it's okay. We're listening to you, and I'm just wondering, what can the United States do here? Mike Pompeo, the Secretary of State, says all options are on the table. Obviously, increased sanctions are an option. To what extent do you want to see the United States act there?
That is such an important question, because the United States has been crucial. The sanctions, the support, the humanitarian aid that has brought to the Venezuelan people, it has been right on point, and we could not thank them enough. But it is time for action. And the action, as all the options are on the table, are very concise and very, very precise. The Venezuelan president, Juan Guaido, has to invoke Article 187.11 of the National Constitution in Venezuela to invite a peacekeeping operation, a military operation other than war, to be able to bring a monitored international humanitarian intervention, to be able to comply with international humanitarian law and with the highest standards of human rights, to save the lives of millions and millions of Venezuelans that today are starving and oppressed by this criminal proxy failed regime that has ties to international terrorism. So I do believe that instead of bringing Russian bombers and Iranian warships to our shores, we should be bringing the U.S. comfort to bring the largest mercy hospital to help out with humanitarian aid, food, doctors, and of course, it needs the military support because we've already seen what they're doing to the civilian population.
Really interesting to hear from you, Isaias Medina, as we watch the situation unfold there, and we expect to hear from the vice president. He'll be speaking in Colombia a short time after these meetings this morning. We'll see what news comes from that as well. Isaias Medina, thank you for coming on the program this morning.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.